All right. Hi, everyone. Good to see you guys all again. We have a good show for you today, and I'm Austin Landon, and the I'm thrilled to be here and to be the host. Leah Schaffner is on the line too. We're happy to be here as well, and we have a presenter named Samuel Ewing. This leadership module is called engaging with others in the Special Olympic community. All right, Andrew, you guys all ready? And Sam, let's get the show rolling. Over to you, Samuel.
Okay, my name is Sam Ewing. I'm from Olympia, Washington, 30 County. The sport I played is track and field, swim, basketball, flag football, and softball.
Awesome. And Sam, do you want to share about what athlete leadership things you're involved with?
Oh yeah, I was the athlete leader for Special Olympics.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
And so Sam and I are co-presenting today. So I know all of you, but my name is Leah Schaffner, and I work on staff with Special Olympics Washington, overseeing our athlete leadership program. So really excited to be here today. Sam and I are excited to share with you guys this training on engaging with others. This is actually a new training. Special Olympics Washington has never done this one before. And it's new from Special Olympics International. So they made some curriculum, the training materials for us. And so Sam and I have spent some time going through it and making some changes. But after we present it to all of you, we'd love your feedback, because that'll help us to know in future years if we should offer this training again, or if we should make any changes. So we want you to participate and join in, but also be willing to share feedback at the end and think about how we can best use this information in the future. All right, Sam, you ready? I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And okay, engaging with others. So there are 3 parts to our training today. In our first section, we'll go over what it means to have a really good, strong team. So we'll talk about some experiences that all of you have had on a team, what's worked well. Then we'll go into talking about engaging all opinions. So we'll spend some time actually practicing skills like problem solving and working together to come up with solutions. And then at the end, we'll have a chance to reflect, and you can think about some of your skills around engaging with others and where you want to improve.
Okay, it's time to introduce ourselves. Tell your name and describe your favorite team and why it or what's your favorite.
Sam, do you want to go first?
I am Sam Ewing from Olympia. My favorite team to be on is 30 County every year. I like it because we get to know each other and we work well together.
That's awesome. Here, I'll stop sharing for just a minute. And we'll go around. So we're looking for, what was it, Sam? Name and then your favorite team and why.
Okay. Hi. My name is Tim Bridge, and my pronouns are he and him, and my favorite team is the is the Seattle Seahawks and the Seattle Seahawks, because they make sure that everyone has a chance to play, so they are very inclusive, so that everybody gets a chance.
That's great. You know, Tim, originally we were actually thinking about teams that you have been on. But actually I don't think that's a bad example, because you're right. The professional sports teams that they're focused on, that's a good skill that they're focused on.
Oh, and then also the team that I have been on is the Seattle Parks Sharks, and after we are done with with our sport, then whether it be the regional or the state tournament, after we are done, then we as a team cheer for other teams.
That's awesome. So you have a really good positive atmosphere, it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's great. Jennifer, do you want to go next?
My name is Jennifer, and I play for the Grace Harbor Hawks. Do softball, bowling, cheer squad, and then track and field. And I'm also on the leadership board for Grace Harbor.
What do you like about being on one of those teams? You can pick one for now. It's a lot.
Softball, it's actually because I get to be on a team with our teammates, and we have great coaches, and it's just an exciting atmosphere to be on a team that you could actually participate with other athletes.
That's awesome. Let's see, Andrew, what is your favorite team that you are on?
Team North Shore.
What is the
North Shore.
North Shore?
Yeah.
Why do you like being on that team?
Well, I don't go back to a spice of biscuits.
Can you say it one more time?
Ow.
You like being a part of Special Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there's really good community,
like family.
like family. That's awesome.
And they are nice people, nice. I feel that they have a great way to get to know other team, whether they are on your team or other teams. It's just nice to get to know other teams.
Yeah.
Like interacting with everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. Sean, do you want to go next?
Hello, I'm Sean, and the sports I play is bowling, basketball, track and field, and softball. And my favorite team is the Ole Angels, because I've been on this team since I was 12, and I've been doing it for close to 30 years of softball. And the reason is because
Oh, shoot. John, I think we lost you there. You sound robotic.
we
out anymore about it.
We communicate each other.
Sean, I think there's a connection problem. You could try turning off your video. It might help your connection. Shoot. Okay. We'll have to come back to Sean. Chance, do you
Or-
want to go?
Yes. I'll go.
So
Yeah.
who are you and what's your favorite team that you're a part of?
My favorite team is golf and basketball, powerlifting, and bowling.
And what do you like about one of those? Let's say your golf team. What do you like
My
about being a
golf
part of it?
team is the Panthers.
What do you like about being a part of the Panthers?
Going out on the driver.
That's awesome. So the
Nice.
practicing the skill.
My practice skills is doing putting and chipping.
Nice. Sean, are you back? Shoot. And Pixie Sky, I'm still not quite sure who you are, but if you'd like to share, you can come off mute or put it in the chat. Pixie, favorite team is the Ski Hawks. Downhill skiing, everyone's so kind and supportive of everybody. I love that. And then Austin, do you want to go ahead?
Well, I have so many sports that teams that I like. So I say, okay, I play softball this season, and thanks, Pixie, for the message. So I play basketball, softball, flag football, and I'm looking forward to trying out other sports. So
What is it that you like about one of those teams?
I get to be with my previous coach that on softball, I get to be with a buddy / coach that was with me in the USA games. Well, he wasn't a flag football coach, he was the photographer. Now he's my coach for softball. So it's a happy feeling to reconnect with him, and yeah, that's what I like about softball.
That's great.
Next athlete, who wants to go?
I think that was everyone.
Sweet.
So, and
Over to you and Sam, Leah.
Sam, can you give me a thumbs up? Can you see my screen? Is this right? Or you
Yeah.
can just let me know. Yeah, okay. Great. So now that we have a sense, we all know who we are. Keep the team that you just mentioned, keep that in mind. So the expectations that Sam and I have for today are the same that we usually have in these sessions. Be respectful of the people speaking, be engaged in the class, ask questions if you have them, participate, and minimize your distractions. So we ask that you be present and participate.
Okay, we will have parking lot today. Here's what that means. We may ask you to put an idea or question you have in a parking lot. That doesn't mean it's a bad idea. We just don't have time to talk about during our training. Have your pen and paper handy. Here's an example that did I get selected for the USA Games? That's something you can ask at a different time or place. Write down so you can act letter. Let's see, lesson 1, characteristics of an effective team. In this lesson, we will think about your previous experiences on a team, learn about the characteristics of an effective team.
Okay, and these are the 8 characteristics of an effective team that we're going to talk about. And this looks like a lot when you're looking at them on the screen here. And so Sam and I are going to go through and describe some of these. And a lot of them you guys just mentioned as you were sharing why you like being a part of your team. So we'll go in a little bit more detail. The first one is healthy conflict. Does anyone have a thought about what healthy conflict means?
Healthy relationships.
Yeah, so you're working together, so it's still positive. Anyone else want to add anything to that? Healthy conflict? If not, that's okay. Here, I'll read what our definition is, and you might have an example that you're thinking of. So healthy conflict is when multiple people on your team might have different ideas about how something is going to happen, or different opinions. And so there's a little bit of conflict because there are 2 different options. You have to decide, you have to come up with one decision when if people have different ideas. But this can be healthy. It doesn't have to be an argument. It can be really good to have different opinions. And here this says that healthy conflict can actually help your team to think more creatively because you consider all of your options and all of your opinions. And so when you are finally making your decision, you know that it is the best one. And so as long as you are supportive of each other and respectful, it can be a really good thing. Does anyone have an example of a time when maybe on your team or your leadership council, you might have disagreed, but it ended up being a good thing that you were able to talk through some options? And that's okay if not. We can kind of think about this, and we're actually gonna kind of practice this a little bit later. Okay, Sam, should we go on to the next one? Oh, wait, this one's mine too.
Yeah.
The next one is diversity. So every person on your team, whether it is your softball team or your athlete leadership council, everyone comes to the team with different skills and different ideas, different backgrounds. And that means that everyone has different opinions and ways that they see things. And it's a pretty cool thing that everybody has different ideas and backgrounds because it allows us to pull from the skills of all of the different people so that as a team, we're even stronger. Yeah, which is pretty cool. So does anyone have an example of that where you might have a skill that your teammate doesn't, but they might be really good at something that you're not as strong in?
Yes, each participant of a team maybe one member of the team practices the skill for skills, and after they're done telling them great job, they did a great job on practicing their skills for either the regional tournament or just it's just nice to have to telling them that they did a fantastic job on their skill.
Absolutely, and kind of recognizing what they're good at so that they can do what they're good at, and then you can do what you are good at.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, Sam.
Okay, chair, leadership, team member chair responsibility and recognition where decision making and influence share between team members. So here are my example. On my 13 county healthy athlete team, we meet every month to talk about important topic. We share our idea and work together to make discuss decision. We all have a chance to fill different position on the team. What are some examples of that on your teams?
Sam, it's
Yes.
Jennifer. During our leadership board meetings once a month, we the four of us that are on our leadership board, we share different we share different places to have our meetings. And then the four of us that are on there, we share ideas of what we want to bring up at our next meeting and what we want to do at our next in our community.
Oh, that was great. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay, so next one is positive atmosphere. Members are comfortable taking risks and acknowledging mistakes. Members trust one another and are willing to be open, ask for help, and give support. Here are my example. On my team, everyone has the chance to share their idea and be heard. We work hard to be supportive of each other. Does anyone else have anything to share?
Uh, for the ALC coming up with suggestions to making so a better if there are problems with Special Olympics, just helping to come up with a solution.
Thank you for that. Other thoughts?
I feel like some of you guys mentioned just how much of a family you feel on your team. Andrew said family. A few of you said, you're supporting each other. You get to know other teams and other athletes. That's all a really positive atmosphere. It makes you feel good on your team. I know that's why I love Special Olympics, because everyone has a really positive attitude and is really supportive.
I also feel that Special Olympics, I feel, is one big growing family. I feel that there since there are more than one area to do Special Olympics, whether it be Washington or somewhere else, I feel that they are a fantastic way to get to know one another.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is awesome. You feel it that way.
Jennifer?
The other day I was at our local swimming pond, and my aunt and I were swimming, and there was a special needs gentleman in the ponds right along with us. And his mom got in, and I asked her if he had intellectual disabilities, and she said yes. And I told her, well, that's awesome. And I asked her, I said, has he ever been involved with Special Olympics? And she asked what that was. So I expressed myself on what Special Olympics was to her, and I gave her our coordinator here in Grace Harbor's name and phone number to hopefully get him to be able to get involved with our sports down here. And he was just an awesome inspiration because he may be nonverbal, but my aunt and I were able to tell what he was trying to tell us and say to us, even though he couldn't speak. He was smiling and waving at us and putting thumbs up, and so it was like a positive engagement atmosphere with him, and it was awesome.
That is awesome. Jennifer, way to recruit. That's awesome.
It is.
Great work. All right, Sam, should we keep going?
Yes. Okay, open, clear, communicate. Team member feel free to express their thought and opinions at any time. All members receive the same information to reach their goals, and ensures all messages are understood by all members. So here's my example of a good communicator. Our dear Cheyenne always send us an agenda for our monthly meeting that give us time to think about.
I'm not sure how loud you were supposed to knock, but.
Sorry, yeah, guys, our dear Cheyenne always send as an agenda for our monthly meeting that give us time to think about what we want to share at a meeting and put us all on the same page.
That's awesome.
What-
Sam, I'll keep going to the next one just for the sake of time. Clearly defined roles is another important piece of a really strong team. So this is helpful because then each person really clearly understands what they're doing there. So just like we said that everyone comes with a diverse set of skills, this really helps so that each person can use those skills. When you know exactly what your role is, today I'm goalie for our soccer team, or today I am leading our meeting, or I'm taking notes, then you can really focus on what your strengths are and what your goal is for the day. I think this leads us into this one, which Sam is going to share about.
Common goal, purpose of the team, and help the team know when they have been successful and what they set out to accomplish. My team had a goal to write thank you notes to a law enforcement and to nurses at our local hospital. We know when we accomplish our goal, when Cheyenne put them in the mail, we all feel great about that.
And Sam, I love that you gave him a marker for how you know that you've been successful. And that's really important. That's great. Okay, and our last one is collaboration. So team members use one another's skills, knowledge, and expertise to improve their work, and they seek and provide constructive feedback to one another. So on a team, if you maybe a sports team, especially a sport like, a team sport like soccer or flag football, you really have to work together. That's how it works. Or if you're on an athlete leadership council, you all have to work together. And so the more that you can communicate about that, and you can give each other feedback and support each other and, use each other's talents, the better and stronger your team is going to be. So with that, we have a few questions that we wanted to ask you about to get you thinking. So think about that team that you mentioned at the beginning that you really like to be a part of. You told us a little bit about what you like being on the team, but maybe you could then share with us, how did you help your team to be successful? Is there one of those skills or something that you did that you think helped your team to be successful?
Like we said earlier, just being together as a family. I feel that it's so great to be together, and also that we celebrate our achievements together.
That's awesome. Tim, I think you just hit on a few. You said, sounded like, it's a positive environment. So
Yeah,
you feel really good on your team. But you also said that you're working together and you're being successful. So maybe you have a common goal that you're all working on.
yes, and also the word the phrase open, and the phrase clearly defined roles means what which skills other people are working on, and after they complete it, celebrating them for the hard work.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Oh, and I wasn't looking at the chat. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Someone said friendship, making new friends. That's awesome.
Can you hear me, Leah?
Oh, yes, we can now, Sean.
Okay. Playing if you've been on a team for so long and like I have, you learn from players who played on the longest, and then like I have, I've been playing this for 30 years. They look up to me, so it's like being mentors.
Yeah. And that's a good example of, you have a lot of good skills that you can bring to the team. And so, it's great for you to have a specific role there, and for you to bring, diversity of experience.
And practice. If
Yeah.
you keep practicing, you get better.
Absolutely.
And
Sean, you're still cutting out a little bit, but we got the gist there. I'm gonna keep us moving so that we have enough time. Oops. In our second part today, we will spend a little bit of time in smaller groups discussing a problem and thinking about how to include everybody's opinions. So have you guys seen something like this before? A pro-con list?
Yeah, yes.
Tim, can you tell us what that means?
So so like pros meaning things you're looking forward to, and cons meaning things you are not looking forward to. Pros uh, pros meaning looking forward to going on vacation, and cons meaning the price of gas is too high.
That's a great example. Yeah. So the pros are like in one argument. These are all the reasons that I, like you just said, Tim, the reasons I want to go on vacation. And then the cons are the other side of the argument. So these are all the reasons I don't want to go on vacation. But then you come up with the decision. Am I going to go based on what's your yes and your no's?
Oh, and also the other con is maybe the house or the location of said tournament is too far, and you don't
Yeah.
want to travel.
The time, yeah. So that's a good example. And Sam's going to share what what our examples are going to be.
Okay, here are 3 pro-con topics. Should athlete be able to participate in more than one world game? Yes, no. Which is more important, fitness or eating healthy? Which is better, exercise in the morning or night? Think about those topics. What topic will you choose to discuss with others?
Awesome. So I'm putting you guys in breakout rooms right now. And so what we'll do, let's see, it's 5:42. So we'll just spend, maybe it'll be quick. So we'll just take about 5 minutes. As a group, you'll pick one of these questions. We're going to split into 2 groups. You'll pick one of these questions, and together you're going to talk through what your decision is. So you have to talk about both sides of the argument.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I'll put these in the chat again, but your options are, like Sam just read, should athletes be able to participate in more than one world games? Which is more important, fitness or eating healthy? And which is better, exercising in the morning or at night? Okay. So I'm going to open these up, and I'll send a message so you can remember what your questions are.
Okay, so you're gonna go to 2.
Leah, we are gonna do healthy eating.
Nice. So Tim's group chose healthy eating. Let's see, who was the other group? Sam, what did your group decide?
For the healthy eating,
Yeah, healthy eating or fitness?
healthy eating.
Interesting. It was funny. You guys, both groups chose the same question, and it sounds like both groups came to the same conclusion.
Yes.
I think that's awesome.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back and share this again. So now Sam and I have a few reflection questions. So did anyone think that fitness was the most important at first?
Our group did, which was in chat room 1.
Uh-huh.
Sean thought fitness wasn't in. Pixie and I and Andrew all chose healthy eating.
So how did you guys come to a decision as a group?
Well, technically, I don't know if Sean actually agreed with us on the healthy eating or fitness, but the rest of us decided on healthy eating.
So it sounds like you listened to all ideas, but then you did a majority rules kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's great. Anyone else want to share how you came to a decision? I think that's good. Sam, should we keep going for the sake of time here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, one last question is so thinking about both sides of an argument, why do you think that's important to do as a leader?
I feel that is important to let other well, not just yourself, but to let other people contribute to the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. People want to listen to the conversation. So if you know that we want to hear from everyone, that might help you to include everybody.
Yeah.
Like this.
Like Austin's shirt, choose to include. I like it. All right, let's keep going. Our last section here will be a chance for you to reflect on your skills as a leader with when you're engaging with others.
Okay, which skill is your strongest? Which skill can you improve?
Shoot, 1 second. I'm hoping to launch a poll here. Oops.
If you were leading your team, what skill would you want to focus on?
Shoot, guys, I think there's okay. Because I'm not quite sure, a slight Zoom issue. So maybe instead, if you can use the chat, which one, and so you can answer Sam's question in the chat, which one of these skills is your strongest?
Positive atmosphere.
Positive atmosphere, communication. Nice. Any others? celebrating all athletes on your team, diversity, self-help. These are great. Okay. And last question from Sam.
Oh yeah. If you were leading your team, what skill would you want to focus on?
You can either come off mute or you can put it in the chat.
Oh, if you were like shooting baskets in ways to make ways to let everyone know what you are up to, so open and clear communication.
That's awesome. That's what Pixie said too. Austin and Sean said common goals.
I got one more too.
Go for it.
It's collaboration.
Collaboration. Jennifer said communication. This is awesome. They're all so important. Okay, I can't believe we're already at 5:58. Oh, Sam, go ahead.
Okay, I would choose to work on diversity. I'd like to get more athletes involved in Special Olympics and Thursday County.
I love that answer. That's just what Jennifer was doing at the pool the other day. All right, we have a few quick last thoughts and then we'll wrap up here. It's really important to think about. So, you guys all, you've been a part of leadership for a long time. You guys are really strong leaders. And it can still be really helpful to think about your skills. What are you good at? What do you want to work on? And just by thinking about what are the skills that make an effective team, you're already thinking about it. So the next time that you're working with your team, you'll remember some of these skills and it'll really improve your skills as a leader. Even though we all have different strengths, we can also always improve. There's always room for growth. As you guys just said, Sam just said it's so important to engage all opinions in problem solving. So that's a really important one to keep in mind. Engage everybody, or as Austin's shirt says, choose to include.
Yes.
And that's because team members feel really valued when they know that their voice is heard.
Oh, and also